What's up, everybody? We are here every third Thursday at the North Beach Social. I'm your host, Cuci Amador, and we're going to be talking to the performer this evening, none other than Jay Thomas. What's up, Jay? I am so excited for your show tonight.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Very excited. Very excited. It's been a long road, a whole year, like just a little over a year to write it and record it and put together a band in the middle of a pandemic and bring it all together. And the fact that it's happening now is very surreal, and I'm really excited. I haven't played with a band this big maybe ever, I don't think.
Wow, that is such a treat for our audience tonight and everybody watching at home and everybody here at the show. And just to give a little background, the thing that we're talking about that's going to be performed tonight is your new album, Butterfly Parade.
Yes.
So Butterfly Parade, I mean, when I think about that imagery, it's so powerful. What does it mean to you, and what's the inspiration behind the album?
Yeah, well, like, with the pandemic and with...
What pandemic?
Well, here in Miami, we didn't get it, the lockdown as rough as everyone else, but like with the pandemic and just kind of cultural tensions and everything that's been happening, I kind of thought, I've got to make the most beautiful thing I can humanly eke out and like give people a moment of reprieve. There's definitely commentary on in the album on where we are as a nation and as a community, but the music, full albums were like setting me free in quarantine. Like when an artist I love released a full record, I just press play and like go in, Like
is there an album that got you through? Is there something like in your mind that you could tell us, so you're like, this record?
Brandy's B7 is one of them. Brandy I love. B7
Nice.
is incredible. It's so different for her and just so sensual and a very good beach record. So I was there listening to Brandy. There were other ones. A new Smashing Pumpkins album came out called Sear, which was like, I think like about almost 20 tracks. So
Wow.
It was like those big albums were like letting me escape for a moment. And like, that was kind of the most salient thing that I wanted to do. Like, I didn't want to rage against the machine, particularly on this record. I wanted to let people feel in their own space, like I didn't want it to remind them of like hot button issues, but I am speaking to a culture where there's a new hot button issue that divides us like every other week, like something comes on the news and you already know, like this side thinks that, this side thinks that, and there's just tension constantly. So that's definitely spoken for on the record, but in the context of music, at least you can like breathe and feel it and think, oh, okay, if I can make something beautiful out of the mess, it helps me to listen to it helps me to create it.
Yeah.
Music.
Tell me a little bit about the orchestration, because you have 2 singles that are already out right now. You guys can hear them right now. They're on Spotify. Scream Butterfly, and the other name of the song is Dream
of the Underworld.
Dream of the Underworld.
Yeah.
And so like right away when I heard the Scream Butterfly, I was like, oh my gosh, like first of all, what does a Scream Butterfly sound like? Number one, but like this song is amazing and it's so
Thank
beautiful. You. And I know tonight you're gonna have a lot of the instrumentation that you used on the recordings actually live, which is so special to be able to do that.
Oscar, my cellist and partner, he does these layering of strings. So I am used to hearing string sections, but to see it live with more strings is just like, oh, like it's been great, like just ecstasy. What was I going to say? So Scream Butterfly, like a lot of the songs are critiquing our culture by just simply saying the opposite. Like when I say, I can feel the sameness in your eyes. There's so much messaging about identity and how you're different than this person and this person's different than this person and this person's in a group. And like, there's just so much tribalism that just to sing, I feel the sameness in your eyes. Like for me is a battle lyric.
There is like a tribal vibe too in that song as well. I was going to ask you if there was like any indigenous like culture inspiration on that
Well,
too.
I've been just using my voice in like weird ways for a while, you know? So like the word tribal does come up because like that's what people think of when they hear like just some wild stuff. But yeah, we've just been calling it wild vocals because I mean, I grew up with like...
You're a wild child a little bit.
I am a little, yes. Yeah. And I do like, you know, a little craziness sprinkled into the records. And yeah, I mean, when I think about like layering my vocal, a lot of the time I just kind of emote, you know, and then I emote again and layer that. And then it does sometimes end up sounding like a drum circle or like kind of like where I got my start, which is like folk music. And there's so much chanting in folk music. And so it does like feel like world music sometimes, but it's not really intentional. And I don't look to any culture in specific. I guess that was kind of important to me. Like this album would not have had a reference to a specific cultural element from my past or anything, just so like everyone can have it, you know, like a butterfly parade is a parade that everybody is a part of, like regardless. And you know, like being LGBT, of course there are like these moments where we're parading in the streets and we're like, I am this, I am gay, I am that. And then
wait, no, you can't say gay. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Are they coming?
We can say gay, and we are gonna say gay.
Yeah, it's you know, there's times where I enjoy my tribe, and this album is different than that. Is like everybody come together, and butterflies don't live that long, you know, like they're beautiful and they go, but everyone knows what a butterfly is. When people hear about butterflies, it gives them something. Like a butterfly, you say butterfly to people and they all have some sort of butterfly story or experience, or like, oh, my aunt loved butterflies. Like it was an image that was ready to give me a lot of what I needed. And when we came up with that word, butterfly parade, it was like, you know, we were thinking about writing like a zombie musical before. Like we went through different ideas, and, you know, we wrote Concierto Quarantino, which was 3 songs about being locked up, which was like very much Rage Against the Machine, like not the band, but like the idea of screaming from within the 4 walls we were stuck in. And so this had to be like break down all the walls, like metaphorical and literal, bring it to the people. And yeah, it's been great. You know, I keep joking with them, like, good thing we didn't name it, you know, Armadillo Parade, you know, because everyone's like so beautiful and colorful. And I know that some of my friends are here tonight, like wearing their butterfly wings. And, you know, it was just it was an image that, you know, it lent itself to the songwriting and stuff.
Absolutely. And just to kind of ask one last question about your collaborations. I've been such a fan of your work throughout the time that you've been performing here in Miami. Since your start, I've always seen you with your partner performing or your sister. So I know tonight they're also going to be performing with you as well. And I just wanted to ask you a little bit about that. Like, what's that like?
Oh my God, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. Like hearing drums. Oh my God, like real drums has been... And I was actually a little nervous because I was thinking more like hand drums at first. Like I was thinking like someone that was going to do hand drums. So, but Emily Maddox on the kit is a jazz drummer. So she's got the touch, nuance, you know, because like I don't need like too much crash cymbals in my life at all. You know, like, there's just certain sounds that I just don't like, so I don't put them in. And she's just so jazzy with it, you know. Groovy. She plays with the songs, and she's a songwriter herself, so like she respects the song, and like that has been just amazing. And playing it even at soundcheck today, like I can feel the floor shaking, and like that's just something that we don't have if we don't have that real drums. The strings are great, and then we've got Digo on bass from Electric Kiff. Electric Kiff was the first band that I saw live as we came out of quarantine at Gordon's place. Shout out to the Hongs.
Yeah. And
he threw an outdoor party where they were playing, and like I was so dying to hear live music that like every note I was like, yes, you know, like I wrote it in my calendar like as a personal holiday. Like so every year I can remember like this was the day I finally saw live music again, and I was just like so in it, you know. And that hasn't been the case with everybody. Like sometimes live music has come back and like, you know, people are talking over it and they don't really care, but like I'll never forget the feeling in quarantine of like, oh no, like the thing I enjoy and the thing that I do is both canceled right now, you know? So I guess I have I always had a deep appreciation of live music, of course, like to be doing it and to love it, but I just don't take it for granted at all. You know, it could change tomorrow again. And that's always going to change. There's like it definitely put a fire under the writer in me. And like I've been saying to people, like the prompt for our art right now seems to be kind of the same for so many songwriters right now, which is like the situation we're all in, you know, like, especially like when the pandemic first hit, it was like, well, what are you going to release? Like a song that says like, it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day, you know, like, like it's we're all kind of going through the same thing. So it allowed me to tap into kind of like a feeling of relevancy that I didn't have before, because I know what people were going through, you know, even if I'm not living in their exact shoes. We're all losing people to COVID. We're all locked up. And so as horrible as it all is, I hope that we were kind of united in that sameness of what we were all experiencing, and like, you know, just kind of having hopefully an appreciation. And the album talks a lot about life and death, because I believe obviously that so many people have lost people. So I definitely wanted to tackle death, which is something that I wouldn't have been able to do as a songwriter earlier. You know, like there's certain topics where, you know, I guess as a writer, you mature into them and you think, okay, I can really write a song about death now, and make it work. I think like me being in a different space. And of course there's the song Burnin' Soul about my mom who passed. So like I do have some background in kind of processing death in kind of like that timeless way that I hope makes people feel connected, you know, like there's so many people that we've lost, and even people that we lose that aren't dead, you know, like people where we argue because of how tricky everything is right now, like how many hot button issues are like constantly delivered to our door, and then all of a sudden you're arguing with a neighbor that you'd never argue with before if you didn't watch the news, you know, like in the morning. So it's definitely, it's my most conscious push to just ease a little bit of the tension, like, you know, for even just a second. And yeah, you'll definitely hear tonight, there's a lot of talking about life and death and culture, but all in a, you know, with like a core of wanting to feel free and feel connected. It was so hard to connect with everybody when we're all locked up, and we all kind of like came up with different ways, you know. No one knew what a Zoom was 2 years ago, you know.
Well, yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, it was horrible, and it's just a tricky world that we're living in. And you know, there's the song Dare I Say, which is track 4, and that's me when I've put my own foot in my mouth, you know, like having a few drinks and talking politics, like can go so bad, so bad. You know, it's not like, oh, just having a little drink and kikiing about current topics. Like people, you know, are really hurt, and everyone's trying to find their identity. And a lot of people's identity right now relies on a villain, right? So like I am this identity, and it's because of these people or those people that I am this. So some people are out there kind of creating villains, and they'll do it out of you. They'll do it out of a family member, a friend, you know, like so that they feel like they're fighting the cause, you know? And it's just so tricky, you know, like to fight for what you believe in when you're locked in the house, or to fight for what you believe in peacefully. It's you know, the other day I saw a post on social media that was like thinking that it's pro peace, but it was really saying F you to like this group of people and that group of people and this group of people. Like, so it's tricky, and I'm nowhere near like able to do it. I'm not the Zen person, you know, like
you're not the Zen person, but I think what we're trying to say is that you're not trying to say F you to anybody with this record. You're trying to be like, let's come together.
Yeah.
and I can see all the hard work that you've put into the record, and I can see so much effort and use the word conscious effort, which I think is really important to create this art that you've made for us this evening. So I'm so excited to experience it in person. Everybody out there who's gonna get to watch it on the live stream and rewatch it over and over again, they can always come back to Rhythm Foundation's YouTube channel and watch it again. So thank you so much, Jay, for sharing everything with me. It's so beautiful. Hey, get ready to see the show tonight. We'll see you there. Bye.